If you invest the way people gamble in casinos, you're not going to do very well. So it's the long-term investment that works best. But if you like the action of investing, sometimes winning, sometimes losing, just like people like the action when they gamble in a casino, those people are not my people. I like the long-term investors who figure out something that's going to work over the long term and buy that. And the sooner the Chinese people gamble less and invest patiently for the long term more, the sooner they will do better. The world is full of foolish gamblers, and they will not do as well as the patient investors. Well, I think it can be learned to some extent, and to some extent you're born with it. There's a saying in America they call a long attention span. They can keep their mind on a game or an activity for a long time until they've solved it. And the Chinese do have a long attention span. And that is a hugely desirable quality because you're more likely to get the right answer if you think deeply and hard about a subject for a long time. And it's odd that a group of people who are so good at having a long attention span like to gamble so much, which is quite counterproductive. A lot of people think there is such a thing as truth in the markets, that the market is going to tell you something just by bouncing around. That is not the way Berkshire Hathaway or Charlie Munger invests money. We have a view as to what the intrinsic value is of what is being traded, and we only buy it when we think it's worth more than we're paying. So we're trying to make a long-term investment by waiting for something to be underpriced and then buying it. And we don't give a damn about all these gamblers in the market. To me, they're just so much froth. And it's a foolish way to spend your time if you want to get rich. Well, the Chinese market is going to create a lot of successful investors. If you look at Hong Kong, which has been full of Chinese people enmeshed in a capitalist order with a good securities market, that is going to spread all over China and increase in respectability and size for decades ahead. I anticipate that China's security markets and investing practices will get better and better for a long, long time. There'll be fluctuations, to be sure, but the long-term trend will be toward more achievement, more respectability, and higher prices. The Chinese who've gotten rich in Hong Kong over the last 50 years are not the short-term traders and the gamblers. It has been the long-term investors who sought out good long-term investments and stubbornly held them for long periods of time. And just as that worked for the Chinese in Hong Kong, it'll work for the Chinese on the mainland. It's not the short-term gambling that's good, it's the identifying the good long-term investment and sticking with it for a long time. My Berkshire Hathaway stock cost me $16 a share, and it's now selling for almost $300,000 a share. That's been a very good investment. It took a long time, and it was a long-term investment where I liked the people I was investing with, and I liked the companies I was investing in, and I just sat there for more than 50 years. And lo and behold, it's worked out very well. And there are lots of stories like that. Li Lu and I have been investing together in China for, 13 years or so?
Yeah, 15 years.
15 years. And we have bought a lot of securities and we've sold very few. I have not made very many bad investments. They've been small and not very many. I don't have many bad investments. Neither does Li Lu. Basically, the Mungers have three stocks, so to speak. We've got Berkshire, we've got Costco, and we have an investment in Li Lu's partnership. Three things. I'm well along in my 95th year. Three things. You don't need to own a lot of different things to get rich. China has a deep Confucian ethos. They want people act modestly even though they're rich and powerful. They want people to constantly keep learning and to behave with dignity and reason and improve as they get old and keep working. Well, those lessons are not confined to one country. But it just happens that Warren Buffett and I act like a bunch of people that take Confucianism very seriously. That's why they like us.